Hello, everybody, and welcome to the shit show. I got to figure out something as I'm doing this show because I can't screen share my screen at the moment. So this is going to be an interesting time here. So anyway, Joe, welcome to the show. Albert as well. And Albert, someday maybe we'll do your trivia thing or whatever you wanted to do. I don't know when we'll get to do that, but someday it will
Someday.
happen.
We just need more folks. We need more people to get off their
Exactly.
butts and join us for 1 hour. That's all I'm asking for. 1 hour.
Exactly. Exactly. So, in any case, how's everybody doing? Everybody doing all right?
Good. Yeah, very good.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
same here. Can't
Yeah.
complain. We've got more storms. I know wasn't this the same thing last month or last week as well? We were in the
Uh
middle of a typhoon or something. Same thing's happening here in
We were
Austin, by the
we
way.
were storming. I think that was last week. We were
yeah, we
storming.
we was storming, but we're good this time.
Yeah.
We had some earlier in today, but they moved out, so it wasn't too bad. So no big deal. So, but it's storming where you are, I guess. So
Yeah, it is. We'll see how it goes though. So far it's been okay. I don't think we're gonna get anything too bad, but if I drop out then either I've had a heart attack or the storms have come in. So you've
that's
been
not
warned.
good. Yeah, not good. All right. Well, let me see if I can get this to work here. I don't know if this is gonna work on the fly, but
Only one
anyway,
way to find out.
yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
Let's see
Albert,
how it goes.
could you do me a favor? Because you can screen share. You're on the screen share here, sir. So
Absolutely.
could you pull up the Joe Rogan podcast, moving to Spotify for me? Uh, this is very amateur now. Thank you, Mike. Good job. For
Well, now it's
screwing
just
every.
like the Rogan show, and you're just calling for Albert instead of Rogan calling for Jamie.
Well,
So
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
So now
So
it's like more professional.
yeah, well, it works out well. I mean, the only reason I'm bringing this up, and this is like a last minute entry in the notes here, is because, uh, we podcast. I've been podcasting for a while, and Joe is obviously a big name. He's the biggest one in the space, I would say, right?
He's got the biggest numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go. He's moving. This reminded me of Howard Stern when he went to Sirius
Hmm.
XM, right?
Yeah.
Back
Yeah,
Yeah.
back
which I
in the
think is a very apt analogy here because uh, Howard Stern's relevancy has never been as high as it was before he moved to Sirius. No one talks about it anymore. He's making a lot of money, right?
oh
Made a
yeah,
lot of money with that move, but as far as like relevancy went, that was
that was like
before he
what?
before he did the switch. It was his peak.
Yeah. Well, I was never a big fan of Stern anyway. I mean, sure, what he did and what he accomplishes, you can't take it away, right? But he wasn't my kind of like it just didn't appeal to me. Kind of same thing with Joe. Like Joe's not. Some of his stuff is interesting, but a lot of it's kind of like okay,
He's right
whatever.
there. You can hear you, Mike. Oh, you're talking about
Yeah,
Joe
well,
Rogan.
no, Rogan, not JoJo.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
geez, God's sakes.
The same thing
But
applies
yeah, yeah,
either way.
pretty much. Yeah, yeah. Either way, yeah. So
Do you
I just
guys
thought it was
do you
yeah.
guys
Go ahead.
follow his show?
Occasionally.
I do not. I don't watch every episode, but I do watch fairly regularly. Depends on the guest.
Yeah,
Uh, I won't like follow him though to Spotify. I think he's gonna see a big drop in numbers. I mean, I don't know.
That's a
This
good
is
point. It's like, is he enough to move? Is he enough to like make people move? Though I mean, I
I'm
know
not
he's like the number one. He's got the biggest show and all that, but I don't listen to him, and I don't know that's going to make me want to listen to him anymore while he's over there. So
well,
is he pulling
you
in new
know,
people? I don't know.
convenience trumps everything. I mean, convenience always wins, right? Like he's now going to be asking, even though a lot of people have Spotify for one reason or another, it's not everybody, and he's now going to be asking people to switch platforms, to use a different podcast app, to not watch YouTube anymore because he's pulling all of his videos off YouTube also. So uh it'll be only on Spotify, video and audio. So now if you want him, you've got to use Spotify. And if you don't use Spotify, you can't have him. Um it's not behind a paywall, at least not at first. We'll see how that goes. That we've seen people do that where they move to the free tier and then slowly end up in the paid tier, which
I got it.
whatever.
See, I fixed the screen.
Look
Sorry,
at you.
I get
Look at
very
you.
excited. But sorry, Joe. Continue with
Uh,
your thought.
but yeah,
Sorry.
I don't see right. I don't see um a world in which limiting the size of your audience is the right move
Yeah, well,
ever.
which is one of the guys, Daniel, who's been part of the podcasting thing since it started way back. He's one of the people that I've gone to learn things. The Audacity podcast. That's his claim to fame. That's his thing. And I've gone in there to, learn about Audacity when I first started out. And I think he made a post on his Facebook thing and jokingly saying, "Well, that's good for Joe, but I'm not limiting my audience size just to be exclusive. But in Spotify's, I guess their thinking is that they want to become like Sirius XM, kind of like offer that in a way, I guess.
Yeah,
'Cause,
how did that work for
yeah,
Sirius?
yeah, like, well, I don't
Right?
know. I
Like
mean, yeah, because
they've
Sirius,
they
yeah. Go
they've
ahead.
they've bounced off the bankruptcy wall a number of times
Yeah,
since getting Stern, right? They've not won any major uh user base. They're not doing
yeah.
fantastic, right? That didn't save them. The thing with this is um Spotify's in a better position and it's a free tier. So at least for now, like I said. So
Yeah.
you get that. So maybe this works out well and they stay relevant. But Rogan's value to Spotify is in his relevance, right? The reason they want him on their platform is because he's the biggest podcast. If if he takes a 20 or 30% drop in listeners, he's not going to be number one anymore. His relevance is going to drop. Like I he could have made, I mean, I don't know. They're like, I've seen wildly different figures because they haven't said anything official. So it's hard to say, what this is really worth to him. It seems like a money move, though. Definitely not a for the love of the podcast kind of move.
Well, how old is
Right?
Joe? He's gonna be what, 50-ish, right?
I think he's rolling in on
Into the
his mid
50s.
50s,
All right, so
He's
you're gonna be
52 right now.
52.
all right. There you
Yeah.
go. This is his last hurrah, maybe. Like, get all that money and get the hell out of Dodge. I mean, I think it's more of a play. Obviously, I think Spotify wants to be more like a Sirius XM, so to speak. Now, I'm a Sirius XM guy myself. I prefer that over terrestrial radio any day of the week. I can't
Me
listen
too.
to
I
regular
actually
radio.
I
Yeah,
pay for that. Yep.
yeah. So, but here's the thing. Now, it's all about competition now, right? So, and I know Sirius XM, they have, what is it, Pandora, Albert? They offer Pandora, right?
Yeah.
And then you get the podcasts on there. So it's all changing. This whole space is kind of merging into one thing now because podcasts are becoming so popular and whatnot, and part of the medium, right? So that's where they're heading with all of that. It'll be interesting where it goes. I don't know if it's a smart move to limit yourself by just jumping ship, but hey, if someone's gonna write me a check for all that money, I'll take Air Glue Media over to, I don't know, wherever. It doesn't matter. Write us a check and we'll be whattever you want us to be. So that's
No,
that's
it's
the way I
interesting.
look at
This
it.
is
Yeah,
a
go ahead.
very no. I was going to say
Go ahead.
so it says at least by this headline here from Business Insider that he's looking to compete or they're looking to compete with Apple and Google. So the first question is there enough room for
Three?
somebody at the top?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean that's not uncommon in just about any industry. You've got like your top three and they're all kind of vying for their own market share. But I mean this doesn't feel any different than
Streaming,
somebody
right?
getting a exclusive for a brand new show or a hot show coming out. I just don't know that like, it's not pulling me over, and maybe this is just
Yeah.
one brick, right? I mean, this isn't gonna be the end all strategy for Spotify. I'm sure this is the first phase of a phase strategy that they've got, and so I'd be interested to see what else they plan on doing. Because Joe Rogan sorry, as much as, I know who he is, I know he does a great show, I've heard bits and pieces of it, but I don't follow it. I know
Yeah.
his value, I know his importance. I don't think that's enough for them alone. This isn't a move alone that's going to get them up to where Apple and Google are, so
Yeah.
I'm more excited about, or I guess more interested in what's going to happen after this.
Yeah.
Well, so you mentioned Sirius XM, like they want to be the Sirius XM, right? Sirius XM in 2001 stock price was at $50 a share, and it's at $4.08 a share right now, right?
Yeah.
Or $5.80 right now.
Right.
Stern didn't save them. They're not a banner of success, right? This is not the model. I think, and like Albert said, this is like getting a deal for an exclusive show on a new network or whatever. And I think even that's not
It's never
the
been a
same.
guarantee, right?
And that's not even. I mean, it's never been a guarantee, and it's also not really the same because, like, if you are on NBC and you get signed to a new show on ABC, you're just asking people to change the channel on everything else they already have,
hmm
right? You're not asking them to download a new app to get a
And
new
pay. Yeah.
account. You're not asking them to split their playlists,
Yeah, that's
right?
true. The overhead's higher here. Yeah.
Yeah, the overhead's way higher here for the listener. I think he's going to see a pretty big drop. I think this is a move you typically see people do when they're at their peak, thinking that they are untouchable, and you usually see a fall from relevance afterwards. I think that's what we're going to see here. And like the idea of pulling the entire back catalog off of YouTube and moving it to Spotify and only putting up like little clips on the YouTube channel, like he's not
Most
even
people
gonna.
just most people they'll watch the clips though. They don't watch the full. That's
No,
what I
so
tend to do.
well,
Yeah,
that's what you tend to do, Mike.
yeah,
But that does not
okay.
mean that's what most people tend to do.
Well, that's what
Look
everybody
at
should do. What Mike Rondo does. That's what I'm saying. You
Oh
know?
boy, don't do that.
you need to not think you're most people because you're very much so not.
Yeah.
Most
Thanks, Joe.
people watch the whole thing or listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
He had his download numbers. I had read that at one point last year they said they were getting 190 million monthly downloads on their podcast.
Oh, so he's doing Cantina Cast numbers.
Yeah.
Cantina guys,
No big deal, dude.
Uh,
Whatever.
I feel like the amount of money you would have to make if he because Spotify is going to do the Spotify thing and pump a bunch of ads into this thing, right?
Yeah, but he
That's what they
doesn't
do.
typically do ads though. He
No,
does it at
but
like the end,
But
right?
Spotify is going to
Put
pump
these
a bunch of
together.
ads into them. That's how they make money.
Yeah,
is
they're
they
gonna
serve
insert.
ads.
Yeah.
So if he was going to be okay with a bunch of ads being pumped into his show anyway, why not do it himself and clear all the money instead of splitting it? I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't seem like doesn't seem like the right decision to me, but we also don't know anything about the deal because they haven't
That's
said
true.
anything. So
Yeah, that's true. It's almost like streaming now, like in the podcast space, right? Like it's getting to a point like, all right, we got Disney
it's
Plus. we
starting
got
to
the-
get.
Yeah, it's getting.
I
But-
think
but-
people are way more resistant though. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's way easier to just bounce around between like Netflix. It's way more acceptable to bounce around between like Netflix and Hulu on your TV than it is for people
audio, yeah.
to want to like. And people do podcasts on playlists, right? They just
Yeah.
play all. The
Yeah.
idea of, to me anyway, and to a lot of people, it seems like the idea of having to install 2 or 3 or 4 separate apps to get the exclusive podcast to listen to.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's super appealing.
All right, well, let's get to an interesting one, which is the Snyder Cut, which I have to admit, this has annoyed me for what has it been, like 5 years now? People bitching about this, right? Like release the Snyder Cut. release
Seems
the
like
Snyder-
longer.
And the problem I have with this whole thing, and they're going to do it now, and this is kind of tied into the next thing I bring up with the industry, the entertainment industry losing all that money in the next 5 years because of this, the virus and everything. This is going to give fuel to those. And we've talked about it before on the Cantina Cast, Albert, where people want the JJ cut or whatever, and there's
Right,
no
yeah.
fucking JJ cut. All right, I can't say it as clear as I. That's as clear as I can be. There is no cut with that. Now it just happens there is a Snyder cut, and this is kind of abnormal.
Well,
but-
I think
yeah, go ahead, Joe.
that's a very much so your interpretation thing. I'm sure there is more than one cut of all of these movies before we see them. That's how movies happen. They cut,
Finished
recut, they make
finished
changes.
cut, I would say. Like a
Yeah,
finished
but
cut.
this wasn't a finished cut either, right? They're
Okay.
finishing this one.
All right.
They're doing $20 million worth to finish this one to put it on TV. So as much as this is real,
I love when
this
Joe
you-
just kind of points out like you're wrong about everything, Mike. Shut up.
I mean, it's true. Like
I love it.
you're
I
being
love it.
obtuse on this because you don't
I-
want to hear about a JJ cut. The
Yeah,
JJ
because
cut,
there is no cut.
yeah,
is no cut.
there.
There's no
I'm
George
sure.
Lucas cut. There's
I'm
no- and that's the
sure.
other thing.
I am
Yeah.
sure
No,
there
there's
has
footage,
that
yes.
movie went through multiple cuts before it when it came out. Right? That's how all movies go.
Albert's face is like, yeah, I think you're wrong, Joe.
I'm
I-
sure that
No,
Yeah,
that's not what I'm saying. No, I don't. We're getting hung up on Star Wars. Let's talk about Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
in
Good,
general,
bad, is it gonna make
it's-
you?
I'm
Go ahead.
curious. It's not going to be any better because Snyder's movies that
They're not.
came before this were not
Are
that
not.
great.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Uh,
where I'm at too. Like as excited, like
Yeah.
Justice League was a kind of a steaming pile of poop for me. I mean,
They
there was
all-
good.
They've
There
all
was
been.
okay. So there were moments that I was like, oh, yeah, like I tell you again, I've said this before on other shows. My kids freaking love that movie, but they were able to identify that they were really just kind of caught up in the wow of it all, even though it really wasn't that great. That movie definitely had some issues, and it does feel like there probably could or should be another cut. I'm actually interested in seeing what this is going to be like because one, it's unprecedented. We don't ever get this, right? I mean, you think
True.
about Donner did it with Superman 2. We got the Donner cut, and that really didn't maybe turn out to be as exciting as everybody had hoped for, right? That was wishful thinking for 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it was, before they finally released it. So there is something romantic about the idea that a movie you really felt really warmly about coming out and didn't do as well, and that somehow there's a light somewhere that's going to make this thing all better for you. I like that. I mean, it's fun to romanticize about that, but at the end of the day, that movie had a lot of fundamental issues that, yeah, even if you threw $40 million at it, I don't know if they're going to be able to buy their way out of some of the problems there, right? And I think that's
And
kind of what Joe's saying. Like, overall, Zack Snyder's take on DC really hasn't been that awesome. I mean, I've enjoyed
and get ready
Superman.
for a 4-hour version of it because this is 4 hours.
So that doesn't
Really?
seem like they're going to redo anything. That just seems like they're going to throw more
Bad.
stuff in there.
Well, when I say they're redoing it, they're like doing the unfinished CGI and stuff that never got done for this cut because they didn't use this cut.
Yeah.
So they're gonna put 20-30 million, I can't remember what the figure was, into finishing it, and then either release it as a 4-hour movie or as 4 1-hour episodes in a miniseries.
Right.
It is just a PR stunt to get people to sign up for HBO Max. This is all this
Probably.
is.
Oh yeah, well, of
Yeah,
course.
it's launching on HBO Max. It's a big thing, that's all this is. And it's gonna be trash. It's gonna be
See, that was my
genuine
big
trash.
thing with you. That was my question really to you at the end of the day, to both of you. Is it going to change your mind about it anyway? And I would, and
I mean,
Snyder doesn't
we'll
make
have to
any good
see.
movies, so
We'll have to see. Maybe it'll be fantastic. Who knows?
I like your optimism, Joe. I like that. That's nice.
I'm not. I wouldn't
don't
bet
believe
on
it.
it being. I wouldn't bet on it, but
Yeah.
hey, listen. If they
Same
release
thing.
it as 4 1-hour episodes, I'll probably consume it. I will not sit through a
yeah, but-
4-hour movie, but
Would that be bad though if they do it in the episodes instead of just the whole?
no, I would only watch it in episodes. I'm not going to
Alright.
watch a 4-hour movie. I'm not going to watch 4 hours of Snyder
Snyder?
DC movie in one sitting.
Mhm.
No, you're not gonna try that. You're not gonna.
No.
So this
No.
is not. This is
Yeah.
really not similar, but what it reminds me of. This brings up the same kind of discussion we had earlier. Like, okay, so what? It's going to HBO Max. Am I going to pay for HBO Max just to see this movie?
Snyder? No,
No, I'm not.
no.
It's not
Well,
enough. I'm not. I mean,
The thing with HBO Max is like if you already have HBO Go or whatever, you just get this.
no, I don't have that.
Yeah. So like it's just HBO. Honestly, I think the sales pitch for HBO Max is better when you look at like what the catalog actually includes, and they should probably lean on that more than
Like the Sopranos, Game of Thrones.
well, it's not just
stuff, right?
that. It's everything Time Warner. So it's
Okay,
all the
yeah.
it's all the Warner Brothers stuff. It's all that. It's everything under that. I think HBO Max is a terrible title for this. They're just using the HBO like premium television name to get people's attention. But this is basically like your CBS All Access for Time Warner. So it's got all your HBO stuff, all your Warner Brothers stuff, all the animated DC things, all everything. But they've got a horrible name that doesn't describe what it actually is.
CBS All Access just makes me so mad. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. But yeah, no, definitely not getting my money on this one.
Well, here we go. This is the big problem here. The entertainment industry is going to lose.
Well, here's
hundreds-
why they keep going.
Yeah,
No,
no, they're stupid. They do stupid things, and they crappy movies and entertainment over the past, several years or whatever. But I guess this is mostly because of the pandemic.
well, so I didn't read this
People- yeah.
article, but and I don't mean to jump ahead or jump
No, go
down
ahead.
your
Go
throat.
ahead. Yeah.
But is this like saying, okay, now because of what happened with coronavirus, because we've talked about this before, I think on roundtables or whatever, about whether the movie industry would
No, that's
be
why I
able to
brought it up.
survive. But
Yeah.
is this all kind of part and
Yeah.
parcel here?
This is like, so I skimmed through this article because it was way wordier than I wanted to get into for basically. I mean, I started
this,
reading
yes,
it
I
and
know,
it seemed kind of like I had one note and there was a lot to it. But basically what it sounds like they're going here is they're projecting out over the next 5 years because of all the production they were unable to do during this time, all the movies that are going to miss deadlines and not come out, and it's going to put them behind. And now they are behind schedule, and collectively that behind schedule adds up to 160 billion over 5 years because they couldn't get these projects out on time. It
Well, I don't
seems
know. Yeah,
lofty.
okay.
It seems more like
You sure this is just like the last 5-10 years of bad business practice that they're trying to now say, oh, it's coronavirus?
Yeah,
and
that's
like
exactly
the logic on this seems to me more like if this logic was held true, it would more like be that they're going to postpone income and not necessarily lose that much.
Mhm.
Probably lose some in the long run. Maybe not though. I mean, postponing it now while people are in, instead of releasing while people are in less than ideal economic situation, maybe more people will go see it than they would have if they were able to get it out on time. So it's hard to say. But yeah, I think their horrible business practices and lofty prices and lazy filmmaking has
airlines.
put them where they are.
Yeah, it's like the airlines. Like they want to get bailed out too. They always want to get bailed out, right? But they do such horrible business practices. Why should the government or anybody else give them any money?
Well, then
If yeah, yeah,
why try harder if you keep
and
getting bailed out?
that's what I mean. Like this is the point of the system. Like the weak fall, and that's it. You're done. It's like now. I guess
Like
the reason why.
Darwinism.
Yeah, well, in a way, yes. But the reason I brought this up is because it's a continuing conversation we keep having on the roundtable with movie theaters and them being able to come back. Because I'm wondering, I don't see like a lot of them surviving anyway. Like Joey, you would mention the little shitty one that you love to go to down the street or whatever. That might survive, but like AMC, I don't know if they're going to survive because they seem to have shoddy business practices as well.
It seems
So,
like in this, the bigger the theater, the less likely they are to make it. It's
yeah,
like
that's
a
what I mean.
backwards
You would
relationship
think,
with that, as opposed to
yeah,
most industry right now. And I think it's because start looking at the amount of overhead big theater chains have with having all of those properties sitting and doing nothing. Uh, it gets
Albert
oh
left.
we lost an Albert.
Oh well. All
We
right, well,
lost an
continue,
Albert.
sir. He'll be back.
He didn't like our conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's like the overhead, right? You got whatever 500 theaters or whatever AMC might have. Oh, he's back.
he's back.
Keep going. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Whatever 500 or 1,000 theaters, whatever AMC has, I have no idea. That's a lot of overhead a month to be empty buildings, and those chains are really suffering. I don't know that we'll see theaters go away, but we're definitely going to see
Shrinking.
a reimagining of what the theater experience looks like. I think,
Yeah. Albert.
especially because they're going to have to for a while limit how many people are allowed in the theaters at a time.
Yeah.
Every other seat, or whatever. And in order to stay afloat, their ticket prices are probably going to have to get more expensive. So, in order to get people in to deal with that, they're going to have to make the experience like more premium in some way. I'm not sure what that looks like, but it's definitely a complicated issue.
Albert, my question to you: the Alamo House, are they going to survive
Alamo
this?
Draft
Are they-
House.
Yes, Alamo House, the Alamo Draft House. Yes,
I just say
Yes,
the Alamo
sir.
House in San
Yeah, well,
Antonio.
we don't
They didn't
ha-
do so
I
well.
we don't have any around. Yeah, it didn't work out well. Well, we don't have them around here, so that's I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, but anyway.
So
what do you
yeah, and
think?
they're kind of I mean they're headquartered. I mean they're based out of Austin, and I mean they're just kind of ingrained in the culture here in Austin. To be honest, my guess is they'll definitely continue to survive this because they were doing something probably that was kind of like Joe's point earlier, is they acknowledged probably a long time ago that there's another market out there for a better movie experience or a different movie experience or a more cult feeling type movie experience. And once things open up, I think they'll probably be just fine. It's the bigger guys that I'm kind of worried about, and I'm not even worried about. I'm just wondering about, right? Like how are
Yeah.
the Cinemarks and the AMC's and all these other guys? How are they going to get through all of this? Because they are doing a traditional, movies out. You come, pay your $8, $10, $12 per ticket, buy your
Pack
$10
into
Chesson.
popcorn.
Yeah.
Pack
Yeah,
into stadium seating, shoulder
Yeah.
to shoulder.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then you
Yeah.
go in that movie and you're done, and the movie is all you really have for the experience, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, it truly is. But when you go to Alamo Draft House, everything about it's so different. The food's
It's an
different.
event.
Right. When you
Yeah.
get there, the stuff that's playing, you don't get your traditional previews and trailers. Now, you get the stuff that's been handpicked and for the movie, right? It's all relevant to what you're about to watch, and sometimes there's activities and things that go on during it. It's that experience that you're paying for. So I think they're going to probably be fine through all of this. I don't think they'll change their model. I think they'll get hit because, if they do have to limit how many people can come in, but yeah, I don't
But
know.
is
I
that
don't.
a bad
I don't
thing? Because
I think
yeah.
the concern for me is going to be the way the following they have, the popularity they have based on their experience based movie environment instead of just being a seat farm. I think big theaters are going to see that and see what's happening to them, and I would not be surprised if we see major theater chains try to go after that same experience and
Yeah, they are here, by the
audience.
way. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Yeah.
off, Joe. But at least in Austin, even like the what is it? It's an AMC. I think it's an AMC theater. We've got one AMC theater here in Austin, and they now do a special movie night, and it's very similar. They've got hosts.
Yeah.
They've got different food items. They've got They create one of the cool things about Alamo Draft House is they serve alcohol and food, right? Well, they come and actually create different types of alcohol concoctions, whatever concoctions, and they serve those, and they're all themed to the movie that you're watching. Same thing with the food; they have their main item menu, and then they've got a small subset menu, right? Short order menu of things that they've made that are specifically for the movie you're about to watch. Well, this AMC is now doing the same thing, and now they have little props and giveaways and all kinds of other stuff. So you're right. I mean, I think it's starting to happen. Maybe it's happening here, and then maybe they're testing and piloting. But I would say I don't know. I haven't heard anything about how successful they are. They seem like they sound cool. So maybe that is something we'll continue to see
Yeah,
later on.
and if we come out of this on the other side and the big theater chains are hurting, uh, they have the Walmart power, right? They have the
Yeah,
big backing where they could offer the same experience for less money
sure.
than Draft House
Start
could.
undercutting them.
Yeah, and then they could really go after that experience. That would be my concern for the Alamo Draft House and similar theater chains, so those smaller, more boutique kind of things. But who knows? The other thing with those big companies is that they do not pivot quickly, right? And this might be a situation where they need to pivot quickly. So who knows
Yeah,
what we'll see?
that's a big ship to turn for sure.
Well, I'm wondering, and I'll just finish up here. Is like with the Alamo Draft House, wouldn't they just like? All right, so imagine they get the fancy seats, right? Like the cushy, lovely seats or whatever. Because not all the theaters have it. Like the one I go to down the street to see the Star Wars movies has the regular. They're not bad seats, but they're not like the plush, like lounge chair type
Reclining and yeah,
reclining thing. If they do more of those seats, but spread it out a little bit, like you got less people in there, they maybe charge you a couple extra bucks. That
hmm
might be the way to go for them. I mean, granted, there'll be less people in the theater, but you have like Joe said, like you were saying, they adapted to it's more of an event and more
Yeah, but
exciting. Yeah,
even that, the amount of people they're allowing, they're opening theaters here pretty soon. I saw like they had like the announcement, I think the end of June.
yeah,
Um, and the audience spec is 50% capacity. So even in the theaters with those big seats, you can only sell every other seat.
mm,
So that's a lot of empty space.
yeah,
You're gonna have
yeah,
to add more than a couple of bucks to make up for that. You're
yeah,
gonna have to there's gonna need to be uh
$10.
some movement, some
Yeah,
decisions are gonna have to be made. They're
yeah,
gonna have to make some like you know themed food that costs a ton but gets people interested, or start selling alcohol. Some theaters do here, some theaters don't, but that's going to be a way to get money in. If you're not doing it now, you're going to have to figure some ways to like bring it in, because it's the same problem the restaurants are going to have. I have some friends who work in restaurants, and the idea of opening at so they opened up outdoor seating only here.
yeah.
And
Right. Same here in Rhode Island. Yeah,
yeah,
outdoors.
that's great. Like those servers can serve now, but like 10 people maybe. Like how many
Yeah,
people can you really fit outside in a New England restaurant that's not
yeah,
built to be outside all the time, right? Like
exactly. Yeah,
um it's almost worse than being closed, right? It's
yeah,
close. It depends
yeah.
on the
Because yeah,
situation.
like today, it's kind of cold and rainy here.
Well, and
You're
at what point
probably
how much customer traffic are you getting, and can you make more than unemployment doing so,
yeah.
right? So um it's
Anyway,
tough.
yeah.
It's a tough spot. It's going to be a tough transition for all those like service-based seated things.
Well, there's not everything is bad
No,
for
this is
Hollywood.
cool. This is very cool.
Because now with talking about them losing all that 160 billion in 5 years. Well, the start, what is it? Galleries, Disney Galleries, The Mandalorian. They got to come up with a better name because that's just kind of
Well,
stupid.
I think they're going to do Disney
yeah. They're
Gallery
gonna
for more stuff. The
Yeah, oh yeah,
Mandalorian
of
is the
course.
first one.
Yeah, exactly. But this was really this was a good episode. This is called the volume, because this is what they call the sound stage or stage, wherever you will, where they do and it is pretty cool.
So I
And
didn't
now,
watch this episode, but I did read about
oh, you got to
previous
watch
to
it, Joe.
previous to this. I've already read about this LED screens and stuff. I'm well aware of what's going on here. I just haven't actually seen this episode.
It's
I read
really,
about this
yeah,
a couple few weeks ago, as it pertains to Unreal.
yeah,
And yeah, this is really cool. And this is probably, in my mind, this probably goes a long way as to why they were able to keep this on pace through the
exactly.
pandemic for
Yeah, because
October.
Exactly. Well, this
All
is
right,
what I
so
was
wait,
thinking.
wait,
Yeah,
wait.
go
So tell
ahead.
me,
Go ahead.
tell me
Go
what's
ahead.
going on here because I'm all about.
Yeah.
I got Watermelon Bandits down, so I'm ready for that one. But this is one that
Yeah.
I didn't. I haven't. What's going on? I haven't had
So
a chance to watch the episode yet.
Instead of using green screens or yes, right,
Yeah,
for
Albert,
backdrops,
big
um,
George Lucas fanboy back there.
they have a wraparound giant LED panel with 3D rendered set pieces and everything and all the
Yeah.
whole show pretty much is set and
Mhm.
shot like that. So they're walking
you
in
can
front of a
see.
video screen. You can kind of see in the picture there. You can kind of see the border up
That's
there.
Yeah, and then the roof as well as
Yeah, the whole
LEDs.
thing.
Yeah.
So they in Unreal Engine they
I got it.
rendered out the whole scene. The actors just walk, including like when he's in
The
the
ship.
cockpit,
Yeah.
the ship, everything, all that around him that he's not interacting with is all on these LED screens.
Hmm.
And that makes for very little post-production because it's all the post-production is kind of in pre-production.
Yeah.
They do a lot of
Right.
the CGI stuff ahead of time, a lot of that. And then you also get a big a lot of help in lighting, right? Because now instead of having just a green screen there that you have to light the actors to match what you're going to CGI in later, you've got a wraparound environment that is an LED wall that is projecting the colored lights that are the
Yeah.
scene they're in.
Right, right.
So the characters are lit to match the scene naturally as you go. So the lighting is better. The CGI is kind of done ahead of time. They still have to touch stuff up, but
it's much easier.
But it's much easier. A lot of that work is done ahead of time. It's really neat. It's I do want to
save them money. I mean, this has got to be cost effective.
so
you know what I mean? Like, like look at the ship. Like this, they got the hull right here, the ship. But then
Yeah,
they just add this in.
I don't know how much it saves them because making these,
it's
things are
yes,
super
but-
expensive, right? I'm sure
compare
this
that
is
to
probably cheaper than
lugging everything to Tunisia with all the equipment
than travel and stuff. But even that, I mean, it's probably not like pennies on the dollar. It's still
Oh no, but
it's
I'm
still
comparing
very
it,
expensive. Yeah,
I'm comparing it to like say like the Rise of Skywalker when they went to Jordan and everything, and they got all that gear and all that stuff, and they were doing dailies and everything. So
I mean, one of the things, I listened to interview talk about this, and one of the things that came up was maybe not necessarily in this particular application with the Mandalorian, but going forward, this is going to get used more. I think this is the first time they've used this LED wall, and they love it. It's working really well. And going forward, using this, you'll be able to say they want to make game that takes place in the Mandalorian or takes place in the next Star Wars movie, and they use this, they can pull the assets because it's all in Unreal Engine. They can pull the assets that they've already made for the movie, drop them into the game, and now you've cut production costs on your licensed game because you can reuse those assets instead of trying to make them to match. You have Unreal Engine game graphics already rendered up, ready to go. It's really interesting.
I mean, you guys got to do a film appraiser show on this. Like, you guys got to talk about this. I thought of you and Josh right away when I was watching this. I'm like, and it was great. This episode was great because
we'll talk about it in 10 years, Mike.
Okay. In any case, I lost my train of thought, you jerk. There you go. Well, I guess it wasn't that important. Oh, well, my one gripe with all of this is the fact that, because I watch these things on YouTube. I don't know if you do, Albert or Joe. People go to film locations to then and now, and you get to see where the film was. Now, apparently, this all gets wiped out because you're just doing it on the set here. And then, of course, you have the props here, the physical stuff as well as the lighting and everything. So it all works out really well. The only problem is, as a fan of like these things or a show, you're not going to be able to see and visit these places.
Listen, there's a lot of places that most of the places in the more recent Star Wars you couldn't go see anyway because they were doing it in front of a green screen, right? So
that's true. That's true.
This is just a way better green screen.
It's just funny to watch him like in the cockpit, and then he's got a little green there, but it
is
weird.
So like when I first, I'm sure you guys have done this before, so this might ring true with you. When I first heard this was how they were doing that, I was like, it was very like there was like a disconnect in my brain because the first thing I thought of is anytime you've ever pointed a camera at a screen how bad it looks. It never looks great,
Like you
right? You take a
want,
picture
yeah.
of your monitor, you record a video of your TV, whatever
Yeah,
it
it
happens
looks,
to be.
yeah.
It looks like trash. And the Mandalorian looks amazing. But I guess, when you get to like control the brightness and the refresh rate and every little thing, I mean, that whole entire panel is custom made to a T. So when you get that in the woods on the design of the set piece, you can make it work. But it is really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, what I was gonna say is this episode, you guys haven't watched it, you should. Is that the previous episodes we had Dave talking and that was awesome. But it was interesting to see John talk about it in his experience with the Jungle Book and then the Lion King, and transferring that all into this, and it was just a nice perspective to get from him because you hadn't heard much about him. He's directed, he's acted and stuff, but he's got a lot of insight. And it was an interesting thing to check out. But anyway, please check it out. It's awesome. And we'll get into the Watermelon Bandits.
There we go. All right, now we're talking.
yeah,
Now we're
now
talking.
we're in.
Yes.
Listen, I love their creativity here. And honestly, the guy
Joe's
on the
giving
right,
him, Joe's
the-
giving him big points here right off the bat.
That's
right?
because the guy on the right's Joe. He's not.
Oh,
the guy on the right here, that is a nice looking helmet. He did a good job with that. The eye holes and everything are all lined up, and it's like relatively
very alien
uniform. Yeah, that's a well placed watermelon.
Wow. I don't know. I just figured. Yeah, go ahead.
You got to
Albert.
explain what's going on for people that are not listening to this in audio.
Yeah. All right. So I guess these yahoos, they robbed, was it a convenience store or something, or what? I don't know what they robbed, but they decided
It's like a liquor store, I think.
Yeah, these 20-year-olds, they decided to steal from a liquor store or a convenience store, and this was in Virginia, I believe it was. So they decided to carve out watermelons and put them on their head to use them for masks. Now, are they doing this for the coronavirus, or are they doing this for like a disguise?
They're obviously very safe.
They're robbing somebody. I think they're doing it for like,
well, I mean,
anonymity's sake.
I don't know. Maybe this guy really is an alien, though. I mean, look at that.
It does look like a
that second watermelon is really well done. Listen, I love the creativity. It's probably not the best solution to this problem, but
no, I mean, well, you would think you could just put on like an N95 mask or a bandana.
Yeah,
that
and you're done.
Yeah,
no,
you're good.
but they went the extra mile.
No, they're like, no, we're gonna be like the wet bandits, and we're gonna go above one. We're gonna separate ourselves.
The wet bandits.
A for effort, really A for effort.
Weren't the wet bandits from Home Alone?
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
and they were the sticky bandits later.
Sticky bandits.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But I don't know. What do you? I mean, can you imagine that this is something you do when you're? Well, I guess when you're 20, you're just sitting around, and you're bored out of your skull. Like, hey, Joe, let's go.
I've never been tempted to rob a place before, so I
neither
can't
have I.
imagine this. But
I mean, you're this bored, Joe, and you decide. Hey, let's
I could
rob a
imagine. I could definitely see 20-year-old me wearing a watermelon as a helmet. So
I could see that. I mean,
yeah,
maybe they were in the middle of like in the kitchen. They came up with this idea, and they're like,
you probably could have talked me into wearing a watermelon as a helmet last night.
There's a lot of us could have been talked into doing a lot of things last night, but we'll get to that.
I mean, the only thing, my concerns with this is one, they're obviously not adhering to the sign that clearly says 6 foot distance. They are not 6 feet apart.
No, that is 3.5 feet, maybe.
Second, I mean, this thing can't be like secure, right? It can't be snug. I mean, I just imagine it's just kind of flopping around like a bobblehead on top of their head. So
I would love to see like somebody get their attention and one of them turn their head fast, and the watermelon just spin on their head.
Well, suspect number 1 here looks like he's got a shoddy design. It looks,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The second one looks way better.
Yeah, this guy looks like he had it. Like he's got like padding in there.
From this angle, if he's kind of looking away and you're looking at the back of the watermelon, it's kind of got a little bit of like a watermelon Kylo Ren helmet going on.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
with the high back, you know.
Mm-hmm. So, and then the other thing that comes to mind when I see this is like, did they eat the water? Like, what did they do with all the watermelon they carved out? They had to have eaten it, right?
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is why I think
maybe
like they were in
they
the kitchen,
soaked
like,
the insides with vodka and they ate all the insides, and that's where this idea came from.
Or maybe they were going to do that originally. Realize, holy crap, we have no vodka, but we've got these empty shells here of watermelons. Hey, let's go rob a convenience store, get some vodka, come back, and then soak it up, man.
Apparently, I guess. I don't know. This is bizarre.
Yeah, this is something Joe and Josh would do. Or Josh and absolutely.
Well, I guess. Well, maybe they needed the alcohol for the watermelon, and I don't know. It's bizarre. I don't know why you would. I don't know. I don't know why you'd rob anything. You're gonna get caught. So
it's a good luck.
I mean, hey, if you're gonna do it, don't half-ass it, and they didn't half-ass it. They went full ass here and made an ass out of themselves.
They
So
went full ass for
they went,
sure.
they did went full ass, and oh boy, unbelievable. All right, well, all right, we're gonna get into a little ghost story time with me.
What is this?
I wanted to talk about this for a long time. Now I'm not one for ghosts. I don't believe in them.
Wait. Hit
Yeah,
the. Come on. You missed your cue for the X Files theme. Hit it real
oh,
quick.
wait. Here we go. Let me turn that up.
I hope
There we
it's
go.
There we go.
the wrong thing. I hope it's 3/4 to play intro.
I could do that if you want.
He's done it before, so
He's done it before.
Yes. Well, Albert's already fired me from social media now,
Yep.
so I might be fired from the board too. But in any case, so I don't believe in ghosts, and I don't believe in
I love
UFOs.
every time anybody ever tells you I don't believe in ghosts. It's right before they tell you a story about how they
Yes.
believe in
About a
ghosts.
Exactly. Well,
I don't believe in ghosts, but let me
But,
tell you about
yeah.
this ghost.
Well, I'm still skeptical because I don't know what the hell I saw. So, in any case, this is the Cumberland Monastery where I grew up. I grew up in Cumberland, Rhode Island. So this is about a mile away from where my house was in Cumberland. So this one night, back in '96, it was in the fall. My buddy John and I, and someday I'll have to get him on here, or I'll have to get his side of the story because he'll tell you almost the same exact thing. Now, again, I don't believe in these wacky things, so I don't know. In my life, I don't know what the hell did we both hallucinate? Were we both out of our minds? I wasn't drunk and I wasn't high. I didn't do any of those
Okay,
things
good.
back in the day. I drink now, as you know.
Yep. And you're
Yep,
high, but go on.
Very much
No,
so.
I am not.
And he's
high.
always high. Yeah,
No,
nonstop.
please, I don't do that stuff. But anyway, so this is the monastery. Now, this used to be obviously a monastery for these monks, and I'll get to that in a second. Here, this is the monastery before it was became the library. There was a fire and all that other stuff. And growing up, and everyone said, "Oh, the monks died," but they didn't die. They all got out and all that stuff, and they moved someplace in Massachusetts. But anyway, on this, it was in the fall of '96 or whatever it was. And now this is the driveway when you come in. So you come in here.
Yep. See
And
that?
you can let me come out here, and this is like the main path around.
This is
here.
the great bit for the audio listeners.
Yes, I'm sorry, audio listeners. You should go on. I know I feel bad, but this is the way it is. I'm describing it the best I can. So you
So
come through
it's kind of like a nose shaped property,
like
and
mine. It's like
there's
nose,
a
like my
road
nose.
that comes
Yeah,
in
yeah.
straight to the tip of the nose, and that's where we're
Yes.
coming in here.
Yes, this is the gate right here. There's
Oh.
like the old gate here. So in any case, this goes around like this, right? So this comes around. There's a horse stable here where they used to have horses for the police department and everything, and over here. The night we were there, we were coming through,
So what were you
And-
doing there? Just hanging out?
just hanging out. Like a lot of kids.
Trespassing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
typically, yes.
Okay.
Causing trouble. The police
Yep.
always have to come in and throw you out back in the day. So we were coming around the bin here. Like we were
Mhm.
coming around here, and then right about here. Now this is a garden, and this is there's a couple of bushes here. There was more bushes here at the time. And we
Mike's
were coming
pointing
here-
out the bushes by the nostril of the nose.
Yes, thank you, Joe. You jerk. I didn't think this through until now, so I apologize to the audio.
I'm just throwing a couple of visual cues in. Don't worry. Just keep
Okay,
going.
Thank you. But anyway, so we were coming around here, and all of a sudden, I was like looking out the passenger window because my friend John was driving, and I yelled to him, "John, stop! You're gonna hit someone!" And so he kind of stopped, but he was going more like a California stop, like we kind of crawled through. And so I'm looking out the window, I'm looking at this thing, and it had a hood on, like a monk, and there was no face at all. So just hear me out. So I'm freaking out at this point because this is something I've never seen. And he's like, he thought he actually was going to hit someone. So we came over here. We parked around here. We both got out of the car. And then this figure was walking like this, and there was no legs. And I shit you not. So I don't know if the two of us were like losing our minds. I don't know if you can both hallucinate at the same time. But anyway, so this figure went over towards where the garden is. And this is like a bathroom for because they have camp in the summer or whatever. And went over that. So we jumped back in the car. We went back around this way
Mhm.
on the bridge of the nose, if for our listening audience. So we came back around this way, and we stopped, and we didn't see anyone walking through the field, and we didn't see anyone walking up this. So again, we went back around this way, and you can cut through here. There's another drive, like right over here. There's another road. You could go straight where that building is.
Okay.
And we
So
saw
you're
nobody.
following them. You're trying to follow and catch up with
Yeah,
this
we're
thing.
trying to find. There was nothing. It vanished, didn't there? So I was completely baffled at what this was, and to this day I don't know what, because I don't see a lot of people have always said, "Oh, it's haunted, it's this, it's that," and so you're like, "Yeah, I don't know, I don't believe in any of that mumbo jumbo," but it was an experience and I can't explain it, so I don't know. I just wanted to
So
bring it
I
up.
got some
Yeah, go
follow
ahead.
up questions here.
Yes, please, sir.
Okay, so when you said no face,
Yes.
Did you mean like it was black, or there was like
yeah,
a?
see this dude right here? These are
Yeah.
what the monks look like.
Oh, okay. Okay.
See that
yeah.
face? There was no face. It was just black. Like the hood was longer.
Right.
It popped out, and
So
it
this
was
is like the
Was it
cover to like
was
a
it like a
80s.
big was it like a big patch of flesh where a face should be, or was there just nothing there?
it was
darkness.
nothing. It was just like
So there was no head.
Yeah, it was like the Emperor Palpatine. Like you couldn't see, like how you see his nose and his chin here. You didn't even see any of that. It was just like blank. It was the
So there was
weirdest
no
thing.
head. So like
Yeah.
there was no head.
It
Yeah.
was just like a robe,
Not
basically.
Yeah, not a big fleshy patch where a face should be.
Exactly. So it was. They look like this, kind of like that dude with no face, basically. And these guys are kind of creepy, by the way. These are the monks that were at Cumberland, the monastery here. This is the whole. They're real creepy, to tell you the truth.
Okay. So follow up
yeah.
question there.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So we cleared up
Yes.
the face. No pun
Yes.
intended.
Yes.
The you said no legs. Like it was
Yes.
floating.
Yes.
Did it look like it was floating, or did it look like it was actually walking?
Floating. From
Okay.
my recollection, this is what 96, so all those years ago. I would say floating.
Yeah,
because
there's
I
been a lot of
see
drinking since then. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I've only had one tonight.
So
Not like
good.
last night. Last night was a whole other. But anyway,
Were there monks actively here, like
No,
during this
no,
time?
this is. the
So it was
fire
like a
happened-
trash bag in the wind or something, like
No,
American Beauty style.
no. Let's see. Where was the fire here? It says it right here somewhere. I think it was in the 50s. I think there was a fire. Here we go. Right here, March 21st, 1950. There was a terrible fire that destroyed the monastery there. So this is a video of the said fire there. So yeah, there was there was no monks. They'd left since then, and it became a public lands. They gave it to the town, and then the town just turned it into a library, and that's what it's been since. You get all these trails and everything else around here. Fun fact over here, where this is parked, this is where I lost my virginity. Just so you know.
Whoa!
Oh,
You
Oh,
can- you
hey.
can clearly see the scorched marks there still.
Yes, exactly, right here.
Like
This is-
it killed all it killed all the growth.
I got a lot of
all the
memories here,
trees are
man.
dead. Everything's dead.
Yeah, I got a lot of memories here. Yeah, the best part about that is like I think it was the
The
middle
trees
school-
got to look at Mike Jr. and just keeled over and died in place.
No, but there was someone to get to look at things. So I was doing the thing.
And you didn't even have to pay him.
Jerk. No. So anyway, I was with my high school sweetheart at the time. So this is my first time, like right over near this car, and
Is this the
middle
horror
school-
stories continued here?
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
this-
This is where it gets worse. This is the part
Yeah.
where Mike is
No,
actually
this
the
is-
scary part.
No, this is funny because then the track team from the middle school ran by, and like my ass was like half out the window.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, it was
what in the
great.
world?
It was funny.
Ugh.
But anyway, a funny little story. But as far as the ghost thing, any more questions from either of you? Because take 'em.
Well,
I'll take them. I don't to this day I don't know what to think of it. To be
did at
honest.
any point did you try to talk to this thing and it turned around
No.
and said, "Tell him
F-
Large Marge sent you"?
No, nothing like that. I think we were both like baffled because when we
Hmm.
got out of the car and we were looking and we see this thing going, we're like, I was kind of stunned. I didn't know what to think, and then we just kind
You
of
guys are probably just afraid of the dark, making things
I'm
up.
not
Yeah.
afraid of the dark, Joe.
Yeah, you're a little afraid of the dark.
I'm not afraid of the dark. If I'm
So
there
if
with you, yes. But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. Well, it sounds to me like what you're describing is what's on the cover of 1984's "See You in Hell" album by Grim Reaper. So if you want to pull that up, that's kind of what I'm thinking you saw.
I don't think I saw that, sir. I don't think.
Well, it's
no.
what it sounds like to me.
No,
Yeah, I don't know. I
Maybe.
don't know that I've ever had any.
Do you guys ever? Yeah. Did either of you have any weird? I mean, I had another one too, but that's not really that. Like
I think
this.
Albert's onto something with that album cover.
Did you pull it up? Pull it up. Type it in there, just real
is
quick.
What is
Indulge me.
it? What is it?
All
Again?
right.
1984's "See You in Hell" album by the band Grim Reaper. It's got a great music video, by the way. If we ever want to watch that, maybe we'll pull that up later.
I'm surprised you didn't pull that up. Let's see. Let me look at this.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never. I mean, I've been abducted by aliens many times, but
I
beyond
thought
that,
you were the one that did the abducting.
yeah, no, that's not me. That's Rondo. That's a story he just shared with us a while ago.
Come on now. Hold on. Let me. Here we go. Yeah. No.
There you
no,
go.
No,
That's
that
it.
didn't.
No,
Let me see. Why wasn't this punching up here?
I'm trying to think. There's actually another '80s band album that has like this hooded character, and I can't remember.
You're so bad at the internet, Mike.
Yeah, I know it's like painful to watch.
Just we saw it. We can move on.
Nah. No,
Joke's
because the
dead.
glowing eyes weren't there, so there's none of that.
Yeah.
It was just blank.
He didn't look right at you. He was.
Maybe I don't know, but I just thought I'd share. I mean,
Well, I
weird
mean, you
things.
broke the cardinal sin of every horror movie. It's like, hey, there's something scary. Let's go closer to it. Let's go find it instead of let's get out of here.
Well, they ran away scared first, and then they went to go get it.
I went to go
And
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, just thought I'd share. I mean,
I
you
went
get the
to
bonus.
go
ahead.
a bachelor party once, and there was not even that long ago, a couple years ago, and there was a real, honest to God professional ghost hunter there. Like
Well, we have one in Rhode Island there. The guy from Roto-Rooter there. He was on Ghost Hunters. And all
it was interesting talking to him. We'll go with that. Yeah, I don't believe in that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't really have any.
eccentric at times.
Yeah, very eccentric. Yeah, it's not really my thing.
Matter of fact, the show Ghost
I do
Hunters-
love watching.
I do. I indulge in all
the
those crazy-
ghost shows, but because they're so dumb, it's
Exactly.
like they're like, oh, we're gonna set this light switch just like 3/4 of the way to on, but not all the way on, and we're gonna wait and see if it turns on.
These two guys, they're from Rhode Island, actually, and they did do an episode at the monastery.
Oh, did
which-
they?
Yeah,
I'll
they
have to
did.
check that out.
You have to look it out. I think they did something with the faucets. I'm like, come on, it's just a faucet that goes on because of the sensor. Like, come on now.
So is that place known to be haunted? I mean, is that got
Yeah,
a okay?
It's a town thing, like it's a folklore type thing
Right,
that it's
right.
haunted and all these things happen. Because actually, what happened? Let me see if I can find it here. The oldest war memorial in the country.
You already showed us that's where you lost your virginity.
No, right here.
that would be the oldest war memorial. Yeah.
No, Nine Men's Misery is right here.
Well,
The
that's- yeah.
oldest.
Yeah,
oldest-
The name's
that actually
appropriate.
checks out.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't mean it that
checks,
way, people.
That checks
Come
out as
on.
well. Yeah.
Oh, you're unbelievable. I didn't mean it that way. But this is Nine Men Misery. This is where 9 men get slaughtered by the Native Americans there because, it was the King Philip's War or whatever. So that's the oldest war memorial in the country. You can look that up. That's
Huh.
a fact. So, yeah, they were all buried here. This is the other thing where people get freaked out in here. Their bones were buried in here. That's why all these rocks and everything. 'Cause people over the years have tried
I
to-
mean, it's just a grave, right? There's nothing to be freaked out about. There's graves
It is,
everywhere.
but this is where everyone, it's New England, Joe. You know how these ghost stories start and all these
it's
legends.
everywhere here. It's not
I
just
know.
New England.
No,
People,
I get that, but
every
in-
graveyard is haunted. Every building that isn't used anymore is haunted. Everything that has a body in it is haunted.
I know, but it's fun. It's fun. Those things are amusing. That's why I laugh at all these like videos. I watch them all the time. Like the I don't know, like the ghost ones. You got the aliens.
Ghost
then you get
Adventures.
the monsters. The monster ones are funny.
In
as
Search
well.
of Bigfoot.
Yes,
My
that's
favorite is Ancient Aliens because
Yes.
that
Oh,
show is
God.
a train wreck and it
Oh,
is
that
so
awful.
funny.
It is
Oh
awful.
man, I can't. I watch that. I'll marathon that over and over and just laugh at it endlessly. It's so good.
Anyway, all right.
Yeah,
well,
there are two programs that I will watch late at night when it's like 2 a.m. I've got nothing else to do and I'm just ready to go to bed. It's Ancient Aliens because of Giorgio, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Giorgio's the dude with the hair that looks kind of
Yes.
like mine.
Yeah.
So Giorgio and then Mystery Science Theater 3000. Like I can put those on and just go to bed with a smile on my face every single time.
Okay. All right. Well, Joe,
anyways.
it's your turn to tell whatever you want to tell. What you got? Anything going on?
I got nothing. I
You got
want to.
nothing?
I got nothing. I had we had. I mean, this will be out of order. The only thing I have is Whiskey Club. We did Whiskey Club.
That
And
was
that
last
was
night, right? You
that was
guys
the
got
thing.
together, slammed
Yes.
down a bottle of whiskey each, and then how did that turn out? What
I
time
mean,
did you wake up?
very likely a bottle of whiskey each. To be honest with you.
That, and beer. I had beer as well too.
Yeah, you
That,
backed off. You went to beer because you
yeah.
couldn't hang.
Yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't. I got a lot of whiskey in my system of late. I was trying to be good.
That was a lot of fun. We had a pretty good turnout.
was,
There was well, there was what, 8 of us, 8 or 9 of us.
Yes.
We went, and not everybody stayed the whole time, but we went from 10 my time till about 1:30.
Yeah.
Ish.
Something like that.
It was really good. It was super casual. We all just kind of hung out. We talked whiskey a little bit. We talked about all kinds of other stuff.
Are you guys recording the show and putting it out somewhere?
No, this
No,
is
Oh, okay.
Private.
This
This
is
is,
private.
yeah, this is just kind of like
So if you're-
especially with anybody that wants to join can. We figured it was better to just leave what happens in Whiskey Club in Whiskey Club.
Yes.
It's fun though. We may do something that goes along with it at some point,
Yes.
but
We got a great name for that if we ever decide.
If we ever do, yeah. But yeah, it was fun. I sampled. I did not have a full bottle of anything,
Say
but
my
I
sample.
did have.
This looks
I
like the
did have a
cure.
little of 8 different bottles. So
This looks like the cure for the pandemic. Like,
yeah,
it
you got
looks
your
like
Flaviar. You got your
yeah.
Flaviar sample pack.
Yeah,
in
it
already.
looks-
That's cool.
Yeah, it looks like
It looks like the container from Jurassic Park.
yeah,
You know, when
exactly.
the
like,
Barbasol
hey,
can.
Yeah,
Save
like-
save those vials too. Those vials are great. I have a bunch of them.
I will save them.
Those are like they're glass and reusable and great for
Lots of things.
like giving somebody a whiskey to try or something
Oh,
because they can take it. You know what I mean? It's
Well, let me ask you. I know something that came up this week with you, Joe, because there's a new craze going on Facebook with the
Oh, yeah, I did.
avatars. Why would you do that? Why?
I was bored.
I'm surprised
listen,
Albert didn't do it. To be honest, I was waiting
Yeah.
for Albert to do it, but
honestly, I'm shocked he hasn't. That's like very on brand for Albert.
Yeah.
This is it's going to take me weeks to get this done, but it is already in progress. I assure you.
oh god,
I mean, I got to get down to like every single like.
Did you
element.
see
That's
mine? There's been no more accurate avatar than mine.
it
It looks
look
just
it.
like me. It looks
does.
just like me. I nailed it. All the way down to the not wearing pants.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were able to get that accurate with it too.
All right, Albert. Albert, it's your turn. What would you like to?
Is it my turn?
Yeah. What would you?
Yeah,
like
it's your
to
turn.
share? Share
Oh
with,
man,
the
I don't know.
audience.
So there was let's see, there was a conversation we were having. I don't know when it was. It wasn't
no.
too long ago
Oh,
about
well,
Yeah.
music videos.
No,
I was
this
looking
is-
forward to this.
No,
And,
this is just crap.
Do you have my screen up? I can't.
Yeah.
See it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there.
So I want to talk about this music video because
Why
this
would
is
we talk about this crappy
Because
video?
it's so good.
I mean,
Look
look
at
at-
Look at this
it.
guy.
Look at this.
how
This is
douchey he
great.
is.
Boom.
Like, ooh, like,
I love
really?
this. I love
This is-
every bit of this. This
this
is silly in the best way.
This is wrong. This was supposed to be serious back in the 80s, though, Joe.
I don't think that they took
And
this
that
seriously.
that skirt's not tight enough for that girl for the 80s. I'm telling you. And look at these guys, like they're serious. Yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
I mean, they were
there's-
at the top of their game here. Come on.
There
Nobody
is-
is bigger at this point.
Look at this. I love this. I love this.
Look at that look. That look.
The look is so good.
Oh my
Just take me, big boy.
What were they
Uh,
thinking?
My body is ready.
Body is ready.
This is.
So this has been like been debated about whether it's the worst, and trust me, it is not the worst music video
Mm-mm.
ever because
It's
I
the
can.
best. It's not the
well,
worst because it's the best.
but it does
Oh.
get usually voted as top 10 all time worst videos ever
Look at this
made.
guy. What is he, like a cat clawing there? What the hell is going on there?
It's-
There's a lot
Look,
going on.
there is no way. There's no way you can tell me that there's not some self-awareness in this video. I know they're playing it straight, but there is no way that these guys did not understand what was happening here.
These guys didn't really like party and get high or anything back in
Look
the
at
day,
that
right?
guy on the right. That looks like my uncle Steve.
Like, how did that guy get in a rock band? He's like, his hairline is like 9/10 the way back on his head, but it's still long hair.
Yeah.
There's Joe.
And then
That's
look,
Joe.
there's a mounted
That-
keyboard. What is
That's me right
foosball?
there.
It's his
I'm the
shirt. There's
drummer.
Mike Rondo right there. Hold on, I'm gonna rewind this because I gotta check out Mike.
That-
That's Mike
There,
right there.
there we go. That's me. If I was in that band, that would be me. If EGM had a band, that is me. And I'm
Looks
going
like
to
Cochise.
I'll get that stash, man. I'll do it.
So the idea of the video was that this girl that you see here, this is her music video, or this is her dream. Sorry, and you don't actually put two and two
This is
together
a
until
nightmare.
the very end.
This is
well,
a nightmare. This is not a
arguably,
dream.
it
No,
could be a
this is-
nightmare.
I would love to have this dream every night.
Oh my god, I am not surprised by you at all.
Now, growing up, I wanted that shirt like bad. I really wanted
You would
that
look
shirt.
you would look really good in that shirt. You'd
If
look
I
good in
could
that
find it
jacket
today.
too. You'd look good in
She
that
looks
jacket
like
too.
She should have been in like Conan the Barbarian or something like that. Like that look.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, the hair, the makeup, the way she's
Yeah.
stalking him.
Yes.
Look at
that.
I
Look-
love it. That
look,
was
this
so
is-
intense.
Look at the slow talk. Did you see the parody video?
Yep. No.
parody
Oh
video
yeah,
is
the way
better.
the guys got together and did it like on a low budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was better than that.
No.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Look
That was
at-
a
look at him,
mockery.
look at- what
This
is
is
like,
amazing.
what is he lost in the freaking maze and the Shining
This is
over there?
this
with
is
the pallets?
amazing.
Look at
This
this.
Oh, yeah,
this
there
part
we
is
go.
so
That
good.
was so-
This
this
part
is
is
so
so
me.
good.
This is how I would do it. Like that would be me. That's
Oh, I
totally
love
Albert.
this.
Albert's. This is Albert. Like,
Oh,
if
this
you-
is
if-
me all the way. This
all
is my
the way.
boy. This is my band.
This is. This. Why
Look
does
at that.
Journey always come up? Why?
Because
This is-
they're so good.
no. This is like a parasite in this whole network. Like, look at this. Look at that.
I think we've been able to talk about Journey on nearly every episode, every show that's on Earglue Media now. It is my goal.
It's disgusting. Look at this. Look at this. Look at what is this? Flying saucers for
the hi-hat, man.
What the?
Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Look at that. Pat that thing, man.
4 chords. You're done.
Oh,
in your face, Mike Rondo. He just flicked your nose.
That's Jonesy right there. That's totally Jones. Maybe.
I don't know.
Why are we even doing this?
Well, it's almost over. Hang in there.
Thank God.
So you can see the very ending. You can kind of see where it all kind of gets pulled together, and you're like, oh, I get it now.
No, I don't get it. I don't. Although 99 Balloons was another horrible one.
Yeah, that's another one. Again, there's plenty of other music videos out there that are just as bad
I think
in a
Bark
good way.
At the Moon, Bark at the Moon is another, I think.
Oh, you watch your tongue, Mike Rondo. That's a great video.
I don't know.
All right, so I want to share this video because
Kara, I agree with you. She does look like the Flock of Seagulls reject. Look at this.
Look at now. She's in the video. Like she's like made her way and she's about to say no to this.
I mean, what is that? Like pipes from Lowe's put onto that keyboard?
Here we go. See, look, there she is. She's laying down. Get out of here.
Yeah, well, you get those things in the way.
I know they're in the way, but see, and she's got the music on. She's got her Walkman.
Is that even her though?
Yes,
is that a different girl?
It's her. Yeah, like in her dreams, she's snappier.
Right,
she's more Flock of Seagulls kind of thing, right?
I got you. Yeah,
that's what was going on there.
Yeah, the '80s were a weird
and it's the best
time,
video that's ever been made.
No,
this is true.
No,
yeah, it's the best.
It's not. You got any other gems from the '80s that you'd like?
I do. I've got one more that I want to bring up because now that you've bashed this,
Bark at the Moon.
This song, no, this one's a little bit closer to you.
Oh,
so and so
is it Rush?
No, it's not Rush.
Oh yeah. I like
now
this one.
for some reason.
This is awful. This is an awful video.
Can you see that guy's dong?
No, I thought that
dong.
many times.
You can absolutely see his dong.
I've never noticed that before.
No, that is not. That is not.
Rewind this and show the beginning again. There's
Hold on, look, it's flopping around back there.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You watch. Look at
I saw it. I just saw it.
Yeah.
Did you see the tip?
100%.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Joe's all into it. Look at him. I imagine this is what Joe does during quarantine. Like,
that's what I was. It was what I was doing right before I took the invite.
I love this song though.
Oh, I know you do.
I do.
But you seem to think like
awful.
You seem to be able to draw a line between this and like Journey.
This is already worse than the Journey.
I mean, look at this.
This is already worse than the Journey video.
This is what I do. This is me before I come on the show.
Strange Animal.
Yes.
Now I love this song. Don't get me wrong. This is like one of my quintessential '80s songs, if there ever was one. But
it's a great song. And that's why I say it's not. It is horrible.
Look at that.
This guy.
Oh, this is far worse than that Journey video.
I don't know. The '80s were a weird time, man.
I don't remember.
What about the dinosaur video there? What's that? What was that one there?
Dinosaur.
Yeah, no, there was something about this dinosaur song.
Everybody walked in. Everybody do the dinosaur.
That's it. Yes, that one. That was horrible.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad too.
99 Red Balloons was horrible. Rock the Casbah was awful too. That was. What the hell were they thinking?
There's Bob and Doug McKenzie. I mean, this is
Canadian at its best.
This is so bad. I think of you every time when this song comes on, by the way, for a number of reasons. One, because you love the song. Two, Strange Animal.
I am.
That's you.
Hello,
that's
Rondo.
You. Yeah, that's definitely you.
Totally me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's that big flapping tongue again.
Here we go. This is awful.
It is awful.
But
which is worse
really
to you?
bad.
Is this worse
definitely worse.
The Journey's video? I don't think so, Mike Rondo.
No. You know why this is better?
It's not. There's no. There's
you can stop right there.
You can stop. There is no ending to that sentence. This is not better.
Because there's a story being told here, in a way, compared to the other one, which was completely you didn't know. You know this is all wacky. Right
this is
awful. You know,
Mike. This is terrible.
This is commentary on humanity.
This is awful. This is not good. See, we're gonna give Kara out nightmares.
Well, I don't blame her, but I mean,
this is way worse.
No.
For anybody wondering,
yes.
We're watching a video from Going Strange Animal, which I think it was an 84?
It looks around 83, 84.
83? I can't remember I don't think it's on here.
It's got a catchy beat though.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, I actually absolutely love this song. But all right, we're not gonna watch this whole thing. I can't even get through it.
Well, you got another one? You got any other we can?
No, it
trash
was just
before
this
we
one. I mean, we can do this. We can make this a normal segment. But I do want to talk about one last thing. Can you see my
Okay.
browser?
No.
No. All right, here. I want to show you one thing that is actually I thought really cool. Now, in all seriousness, here.
Oh, Jesus. It's
No, I'm
something-
being. This,
No, see, I get
It's so
worried
hard to
when
tell
do
with
these
you,
things.
but I'm
Yeah, I
usually
know.
on your side.
You scare me
This
because when you
one's-
do these things, it's usually when I'm gonna have a faint. Oh,
have you guys
what-
seen these?
Yeah.
I've seen ads. I haven't actually looked at them.
So this is one of those things. So we're looking at the Star Wars playing cards by Theory 11, and honestly, this comes up on my Facebook feed, my Instagram feed all the time, right?
All
I
the
mean,
time.
they know what I like, and it's one of those
Yeah.
things. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'll
Comes
just
up on mine. Yeah.
skip
Yeah.
it, and I finally say, all right, fine, you win. I'll buy the freaking cards.
You haven't got them yet.
You're such an easy
And-
mark.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it took a while, but dude, these things are really pretty slick. I gotta admit. So it's like $20. You get both
And
decks,
at the end of this segment, Albert will give you his referral code.
and I'll give you my referral.
It's a
Actually-
paid sponsor now. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they're great cards. I mean, look at that. Look at Kenobi there.
That's a good Kenobi.
He's sitting there like as the king, and then you get into the Empire.
It's
So
not
you
very
get two
Jedi
decks.
though. That's not very Jedi though.
Yeah, well,
Just saying.
he did
You know.
make out with somebody.
Kylo. Yeah, Kylo's
There's
the Joker,
Kylo,
right? Yeah,
Boba
that's
Fett.
fitting. Hey, he
The
is
queen
Joker.
is the Emperor.
I think that's the Jack.
Oh, it is the Jack. Sorry. Damn it.
Yeah, look at
Good
that.
job,
My
Mike.
point.
You can see there the covers.
Yeah, it's
there.
not bad. I mean, it's cool.
They look cool. Oh, they're not even expensive. I just assumed they'd be expensive.
Yeah, no,
Oh, he said
20
20.
bucks.
I mean,
20 bucks
Yeah,
for
for
both.
both. For both, yeah.
I got them in, and when what honestly what triggered me, or it was like, okay, I went and looked at all these reviews.
this
I
is
was like,
social
really? I mean, it's
engineering by
like-
Facebook. That's what triggered you.
Yeah,
Said,
that's
I gotta
very
buy
true.
it.
I gotta buy it.
Subliminal messaging. We've been programmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys are into Star Wars collecting and all that, I mean, I'd recommend them. I've got them here in front of me.
Oh, here we go.
I haven't opened them yet. I've opened up the little plastic wrap on this one, but I thought about
Okay.
actually doing another kind of unveiling thing or a box. Can you see that? There we go.
Yep.
Power of the Dark Side. So just the amount of detail, and these are like foil etched, and I mean, I've
Mhm.
bought.
The boxes look heavy.
Yeah, they're very sturdy, very heavy. I mean, I've bought things for 10, 20 bucks that did not look as cool as this or hold up as cool as this. So if you're into Star Wars and you want a neat little gift for somebody, Father's Day's coming up, check those out.
Are you gonna bring them to the next Cantina Cast thing and then not get your seat at the booth and then get mad? Is it gonna be like that?
Yeah, maybe
'Cause
we'll
you-
see how that goes.
You had visions of doing something like that. It didn't. that
Didn't happen.
pan out for you.
Somebody almost lost their legs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was scared that night. I know that. But well, anybody else have any other things to say? Joe, you gonna plug the whiskey club again, or anything like that, or?
I mean, we're gonna do that again. Probably
hope.
once a month.
Yeah.
I can't. My body can't do that.
Yeah, no,
every
no.
day- every week.
Yeah. It was a very slow day today. It wasn't.
I was fine today.
I was all right. I just was like between my allergies.
actually-
and
So it was
I
good.
was tired.
I think everybody probably had more than they usually would in a night, but nobody got real good and hammered. Right? It was pretty well maintained. It was good. It was a lot
gathering
of fun.
Friends.
Yeah, it was a
like
gathering of friends.
Yeah.
And like we said, that is open to anyone that wants to take part in that. So if you get in touch with me on social media or on the Discord, I will make sure you are invited to the next one.
Yes. Albert, anything else? What do we got going on with the Cantina Cast?
Cantina Cast. Yeah, I got a couple things. So I've got after this show tonight, I am going to record the box opening for the Star Wars Rebels Collector's
good, good.
Edition.
Okay.
So I finally got all that laid out. I'm gonna at least record it. I'll probably edit it this week, so it may not be out until next week at the earliest.
Very good.
I've also got another Cantina Radio show that I'm doing,
Oh,
so that'll be
hey, look at
for
Yep.
Patreon members.
Okay.
And then Mike and I are going to revisit all 9 movies. So the next show, next week will be the show
Phantom
we just
Menace?
did. Well, yeah, I'm trying to remember what the show is coming out right now, though. I've already forgotten. That's terrible.
Oh,
Uh,
no,
What did we just record? It seems like we do this every night.
Oh God, what did we? You did one with
The live one or another one?
No,
Yeah,
it
we
was
did
live.
Yeah, it was live.
Mhm.
Drawing up the blank.
Cobb
Albert.
Vanth.
The Cobb
Yes,
Vanth,
Cobb
the
Vanth,
Cobb
yes.
Vanth show.
Cobb Vanth, the Mandalorian.
Yes.
My goodness. Thank you.
Whew.
We
Oh.
we talked about this episode already today, and Mike messing it up with the wrong
Yeah.
intro music.
A
And
now
little
you
Easter egg
guys-
for you all there at the very beginning, by the way.
Yeah, that was.
So anyways, we got that show coming out this
Yes.
week for the general audience, but then we'll be recording the first of 9 episodes that cover the movies. And so we're
Yes.
gonna try to go back to some scene analysis and talk about the Phantom Menace and what was really great about it, what do we love about it, but then hyper focus on a particular scene that's important to us and kind of do some analysis of that scene. So we'll do that for Phantom Menace, and we'll go all the way through the 9th movie. So that'll be
Yes.
coming up here very soon.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to be watching tomorrow night with my daughter.
Cool.
The Phantom Menace, and I already, you asked me to find my scene, and I've been kind of thinking about it, and I found my scene without even watching it, but I'm going to watch it anyway. But I think I know what my scene is going to be. But we'll save it for the show, obviously.
Mine
But,
is let's try spinning. That's a good trick.
I
I want to
Not-
really get into that
I'm
one.
not surprised at all by you saying that. But anyway, I guess that's going to do it for the show. One last thing is you can find this on iTunes now, so that's always good. So look for us on iTunes. Just Igloo Media Roundtable. We should pop up, and we're popping up on various other formats or podcasters, catchers, whatever you want to call them. So look for that, and of course join our Discord because there's a lot of fun that goes on there, and especially the Whiskey Club and everything, and then of course the Cantina Cast. So that's gonna do it for today on this episode, and maybe we'll have one next week or the week after. I don't know. We'll see. We have been podcasting quite a bit, Albert, like you know, and it's all blurring now. So, but anyway.
That is.
Yes, yes, it is. We're out of here. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.